Welcome into the Cactus Golf Podcast, episode number 72. We have kind of a little shorter here. We've been having some longer episodes. We got a little, at least not as many segments this week.
We shouldn't have as many, but we sometimes go off a track.
Yeah, a little longer last few weeks. That's all right. We got lesser segments today. We'll see how long we rant about them, though. We'll see. We got some news and notes. A quick little hit there. We got the Genesis Invitational review. We got our Mexico Open preview and some betting corner. You want to go ahead and get started into it? I'm not going to ask about how you are because I don't care.
I don't agree.
Touche. So let's get to the news and notes here. Sergio Garcia is my first note here. I don't know if you saw this or not, but Sergio Garcia is going to begin playing on the DP World Tour again in a bid to rejoin the European Ryder Cup team.
I did not see that one. When did that news break?
I saw it this morning when I was making my news. It might have been late last night, but yeah, I saw it this morning. So to do that, he's going to have to play at least 4 events on the DP World Tour to get his card back.
Got it.
So he had to pay fines and stuff when he made the move to LIV and whatnot.
So remind me here, DP World Tour.
It's the European World Tour.
Affiliated at all with the PGA?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they
Correct.
do the co-sanctioned events. Co-sanctioned events, yeah.
So he's allowed, if he pays a fine, he's allowed to go play back on the DP World Tour.
I think he can just go back, is what I was reading. He's just good.
Oh.
He's just good to go back.
But not PGA, just DP World Tour right now.
Yeah.
So anyone, because Rahm played on the DP World Tour a little bit.
The article I was reading didn't even go into it. I was surprised. It was on ESPN. It didn't really go into it. It just, he paid about $1 million in fines already. And then saying that, he's going to try and get his card back and join in an effort to join Ryder Cup team. But, it seemed like it was more of a grudge thing more than a set rule for the Ryder Cup, It seemed like it was more of you went to LIV and you're out. More than it's not like it was a hard line rule. I think the European team treated it a little different than the USA team. I think the USA team, because we had Brooks on the team, obviously, so it wasn't a hard line rule. I think it was more of they kind of spoke out of both sides of their mouth on it, because obviously I think, in my opinion, Bryson played well enough to earn a spot on the team.
Yes,
but I just don't think he's liked as much as Brooks.
Yeah.
So
Brooks won a major that year too, so maybe that was a little bit of a deciding factor. But no doubt, Bryson should have been included.
I mean, he was definitely in better form than JT.
Absolutely.
That's
perfect example.
That's not really arguable.
Yeah.
But it's more of just about we talked about it, the team who's going to mesh well and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to follow that. We'll see if anybody else kind of follows that path to do that. Obviously, I think Jon Rahm would have been in a similar circumstance as Brooks. Is he's not going to get left off because he's Jon Rahm. So I don't think he'd have to worry about it. Maybe Tyrrell Hatton. I don't know. We'll see. The next one here was kind of an interesting one. So Yasir Al-Rumayyan, the PIF governor that we've mentioned several times on here, he's a 12 handicap. Now that's not
of us.
Yeah, he's not. That's not
a little bit better than us.
Too notable. Too notable, really. But he is playing. That 12 handicap is playing on the PGA Tour Champions Pro-Am in Morocco. So if you're interested in seeing how the PIF guy plays golf, go ahead and check out the PGA Tour Champions in Morocco this week.
How does that work?
What do you mean?
So how did he qualify for the event?
Well, I mean, it's a Pro-Am.
Oh, it's a Pro-Am.
Yeah.
Got it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. I was about to go into a whole little spiel there. Got it. I did not catch that it was the Pro-Am. Okay.
But how he would qualify for that is because he has billions of dollars.
Yes.
But that's not the case. So that'll be interesting. I'm not going to watch it, but I'm interested to see what comes out of that. Maybe I'm sure if he does something, you got to be on your best behavior. You can't, and not even behavior as far as acting out. It's you can't do anything embarrassing, anything low key, I don't know.
Are you saying you can't do anything embarrassing if you're a part of a Pro-Am? Is that what you're saying?
No, just him, because it's I don't know. He's being scrutinized by everybody. He's just a part of PIF and whatnot, and nobody, not that nobody, but a lot of people just don't like the LIV thing, and so anything that he does kind of bad or weird or embarrassing is just going to get highlighted like crazy.
Absolutely, yeah. I agree.
But that'll be interesting. And then I have a couple more here. This one is another LIV kind of situation. David Puig of LIV Golf's Fireballs team, he won the Malaysian Open this past weekend. with a back-to-back 62s on Saturday, Sunday to win that event, and so that qualified him for the Open Championship.
So it's funny you say that. I'm looking for the article right now. I'm trying to find it, but there have been 3 qualifying events for the Open Championship, and all 3 have been won by LIV golfers.
Well, yeah, and David Puig in particular, he's won this event was his second win in his last 4 events that were OWGR events. So 2 out of 4 for him. I mean, I can't speak to the fields of those, but I think that's. I mean, OWGR. I mean, they are the high and mighty, so it must be a pretty good event.
Yeah.
If they're OWGR events, right? So I think that's pretty impressive. And yeah, in the quote unquote off season, we had Louis Oosthuizen, I remember, and I want to say it was Dean Burmeister. They both won events outside of LIV as well.
Yeah.
I think Louis might have won 2 events. I think Louis won 2 events outside other sanctioned events outside of LIV. So definitely some wins going on there outside of LIV for those LIV golfers.
Good for them, man. They got to kind of go the hard way to qualify for some of these events, but they're doing it and they're winning it. They're still proving that they're obviously quality golfers. So good for them.
Obviously. And then the last thing I had here dropped this morning.
Yes, I saw that one.
So yeah, you want to go ahead? Yeah.
Joaquin Niemann has got a special exemption to play in the Masters this year. The whole thing that I saw was the Masters came out and said that they are looking for the best talent, and no matter if the talent's here in the United States or it's worldwide, they're looking for the top worldwide talent to play in the Masters, and undoubtedly Joaquin Niemann is one of those players. So they sent him a personal exemption, and we'll be able to see him in the field in 2 months. 50 days, actually. I think I saw
it was post. 50 days today or yesterday. I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I want to say it was yesterday.
I saw it today, but it could have been from yesterday's post. So that's cool to see. I think obviously the Masters is run separate from the PGA. All of the majors are run separate from the PGA Tour. The obviously PGA of America runs the. Do you hear that? Oh, it's your computer. Interesting.
My computer is
he's firing it up right now.
My computer's about to take off into space.
You better watch out, man. Let's clear the roof.
They're having those Mars. You see that? They're asking for Mars people to test out the Mars simulator.
No.
Yeah, they're asking for people. You can get paid, I think, pretty good to test out the Mars simulator.
I would be yakking all over the place.
It's not like you're going to Mars.
I know, but that's probably the feeling of it, right?
Well, I think
that's the whole point. And stuff?
I think it's like living on Mars, not like a rocket ship.
Oh, okay, got it. If it was a rocket ship,
yeah, what was the movie? The Martian.
Oh,
The Martian. What was the guy's?
You gotta take that thing away from the mic. That thing is loud.
I know, dude. At first, I was like, I heard it starting up, and then it just got louder and louder.
He's got a Hemi. I think it's pretty strong.
It's a Cummins, bud.
It's a Cummins. It's a corn fed, man. What are you talking about? It's
rolling coal over here.
Rolling coal. Oh, man.
No, yeah, Joaquin Niemann wasn't the only player to get the exemption, actually. It was also Thorbjorn Olesen and Ryo Hisatsune of Japan.
Oh, okay. I just saw the Joaquin Niemann.
Yeah, Niemann was obviously the highlighter there. But yeah, it's good. I mean, I think, it's good that Masters...
What I was going into real quick, sorry, before you started rolling coal over there, was... The Masters has been, from the beginning since LIV started, they have not really partaked in any of the drama. They've allowed the LIV golfers to play as long as they were qualified for the event. They allowed them to play. They never really got involved in any of that. I think they might have even came out and said that, we're just looking to, allow the best players to play here. We're not going to, essentially just play in any of this drama. And... that's not only been the Masters. That's been all of the other 3 majors too, as well. All those governing bodies have also not held any, I don't know the right word I'm looking for here. They have not, allowed these players to play. They haven't really held anything against them just because they went and played on a different tour. So
I don't think they've had too much of a chance though either, because not many this time around last year, there weren't that many players that had fallen that much. Whereas a whole year later,
points talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
so gotcha. I think a lot of the big players that not many players really were kicked out. Whereas this year, DJ's out of the top 200. Whereas last year, I think he was still hitting some of those automatic qualifiers.
He's got to qualify since he won it in 2020.
He's got a lifetime exemption to the Masters.
In the Masters, but he should also
I think
qualify
he's got
with that
at
win
least,
to other.
I think he's got at least like 2 other exemptions, maybe one more. I don't remember.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure some of those exemptions. I mean, there's definitely some of those more of those golfers as time passes on that's going to start falling off from exemption wise. But you know, you're right. I don't know. Maybe they just haven't had the chance, but I just don't. I mean, I think based on the move today that just happened today, I think they're kind of proves a point, at least the Masters, that they're not going to partake in it.
I definitely think the Masters is always going to do the right thing. I trust them. I think it's just the other ones. I don't know. It's up in the air. I don't know which way they're going to go.
Especially like the.
But I mean, this is like it's right now. It's the only chance we have to see everyone play. So hopefully they do the right thing so we can see it.
As fans of golf, I hope they do the right thing.
And also just for your own product. I mean, that's how you get the best product. Not only just for like highlight or headlines of like, oh, like the U.S. Open decided to allow all the LIV players in or whatever, and that not only the headline draws more attention to you, but also just having more quality golfers is going to be better for your product and selling your product and yeah. So
do you have anything else before I'm about to go on a quick tangent real fast? Talking about for the fans of golf, I tried to watch the tournament this weekend.
I watched a good bit.
Yeah, and I had to go buy YouTube TV to watch the later half of it because I have Peacock, so I'm able to watch it through Golf Channel NBC. But then the coverage cut halfway through the day on Sunday and went to, I believe, NBC or
the
CNBC.
Weirdest part for me was it was still the same team of analysts, like Jim Nantz.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Jim Nantz is like the main for CBS. He's like the main commentator for CBS. And I was watching on one channel, and then I went to the other channel, and it was still Jim Nantz. So I thought, I mean, a lot of the times it's a different team that takes over the broadcasting when they switch channels, but that time it didn't.
I didn't notice
that. It's all confusing.
But anyway, so I made a little post on our story, and was said whatever I said. Something about just for the sake of fans, make it easy to watch. You're making it too difficult, yada, yada, yada. And the amount of people that liked that story or sent a DM afterwards.
Oh, everyone's behind that, yeah.
Like, it's so, yeah, exactly. Everyone's behind it. Everyone agrees on it.
I mean, I see it posted on Twitter all the time.
Yeah, but why has nothing been done about it? I mean, I get it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I understand. I'm sure they have to go through contracts and, the PGA obviously, I would assume. Is that your laptop again?
I don't think so.
I don't know what that was. It sounds like a can opener. The PGA Tour obviously, I'm assuming, gets money from these.
Well, they obviously get paid for the media rights.
So, like, they obviously want to. I'm sure they get paid a mint too. So I'm sure they want to, get it out to all these audiences. But in my opinion, I'd rather have them just be like, "Hey, we're signing a contract this season with this provider."
Well, at least just have like just like how you have certain tournaments sponsored. At least you sell a whole tournament to CBS.
Or a whole tournament.
Yeah.
I
sell a whole
as
tournament
a fan,
to CBS. Sell the other tournament to NBC.
As a fan, just like saving money purposes, I'd rather just have it just do, as a fan, just do one for that season. Because then I'm buying Peacock for a year, and after that year, if I'm not going to use it because they're going to go to, say, CNBC now, so now they're going to go to Paramount Plus, I'm going to cancel that and then go buy that.
Well,
so I don't have two at the same time.
For NFL, it's I forget exactly how it works. They have like rules for who gets which games, but I know the Super Bowl in particular just flip flops back and forth every year to like CBS, NBC, and
like,
could you imagine?
Can you imagine on Super Bowl Sunday that quarters 1 and 2 is on NBC, and then 3 and 4 is CNBC? Like, that's crazy. That's so crazy.
So I think it's.
But now I noticed ESPN Plus, you can watch coverage all day long, but it's only like featured holes in certain groups.
Well, sometimes they have the feature or the whole coverage on ESPN, I think. Or at least last year they did.
They might, maybe certain tournaments again.
There are certain days I think they have.
It's just, that's so frustrating as a fan, trying to watch your sport that you're putting on for everyone, that I have to go bounce channel to channel, subscription to subscription, make it one,
I'll tell you what, my grandparents watch golf every weekend of their life.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine how hard it is for them to like track it.
Yeah, it's like
honey, where did the golf go? We're watching 60 Minutes now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it just keeps changing. Like I had it on the background, and I was working on some other stuff. So I'm like messing with it, and all of a sudden, like, a movie's playing, and I'm like, what's going on? I like looked up. I'm like, dude, are you serious? This is so stupid, man. It's just, I don't know. It drives me crazy. Like, again, kudos to.
Well, I think the new owners or the investment group, I should say, not ownership. I think they have. I mean, that has to be a kind of the agenda.
I hope
it has
so.
to be.
Like, I mean, like I said, we mentioned this a couple episodes ago when LIV made a deal with Google something, analytics, Google something, whatever. So you can watch any player on any hole. Like, if I want to watch Bryson, he's on hole 6, bam, there I am. I'm watching Bryson now. Like, figure that out. Figure it out. Like you said, the PGA has an influx of cash right now. If it's not high on the list, man, God help them. God help them, because it is so frustrating. You know how much better it would be? Like, again, like, my favorite player, I want to watch Ricky Fowler all day. Bam, I'm just going to watch Ricky Fowler.
It's not even just that. It's also like the playthrough stuff they do, where they shrink it to like a third of the screen and have a commercial over here too.
Yeah.
And they're playing the commercial, and it's like, I mean, come on, what are we doing?
I like that versus just going to commercials.
That is better, but
yeah.
like, there's like, especially in the Ryder Cup. I remember watching the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
They showed so few shots,
yeah.
but then like half the coverage you actually saw was just that. It was like half the coverage was just playthrough. I'm like, if you're gonna show it, at least show it. Like, come on, like, don't have it like, God.
Man,
like,
it's so frustrating, so frustrating. We can go on and on and on and on and on about this because it's been going on for years, and people have been so vocal.
Yeah, I mean, I see people on Twitter. I know Dan Rappaport posts about it all the time. I mean, it's like beating a dead horse.
It is, but like, eventually, like, they've got to come out and enact something on it, or just come out and say, "Hey, I respect them." Be like, "Hey, we ain't doing it. It's because we get a lot of money doing it this way." And
I think you'd be able to get more as having like exclusive partners. I feel
think
like
so too. I don't know.
I would think.
Don't know. I don't know. I don't know, man. So annoying.
I bet like a mark or a network you would imagine just would pay, boatloads for the exclusive rights.
But like, then again, I guess,
or at least like I said, for like at least a whole day, like a whole day or a whole tournament, splitting it up in each day, it just makes no sense.
It drives me nuts.
And then it also, like, especially for the networks, not only paying for it, but like if you're the network, they're like, okay, we're getting this viewership, or we're expecting to get it. If it's harder to find, if you're like, say, CBS has the morning coverage, and then NBC has the afternoon coverage, and like, not everyone watching the morning is going to be like, oh, well, I don't see it. Maybe they don't even try and find it. So NBC buying the afternoon coverage, like you want to have as less friction as possible to get your viewers. So it's like, just make it easier. Buy the whole day.
Yes.
And you don't have to worry about people losing you in the channels.
Yeah, again, it just comes down to, like, I think that's a good way to say it, less friction. Make it easy for your followers, people who want to watch your sport. You got to dumb it down. Make it as simple as possible. Because if you have us going all over the place, it's just annoying.
Maybe that's what we're missing. Maybe if we, on our checkout for Cactus Golf Club, and like when you go add to product, it just opens a new window and you have to sign in again each time.
Yeah.
And then
well, no.
When you sign in, it goes you back to another window.
You can buy products on Cactus Golf Club from 1 a.m. till noon. And then you have to go to cactusgolfclub.org for the afternoon products. Like, that's so stupid. It's so stupid, dude. It drives me crazy. That's
all right. Let's keep moving on. Here, there was our.
Make sure you go to cactusgolfclub.com.
.com, not .org. Let's go to the Genesis Invitational review. We had Hideki Matsuyama just stormed back on Sunday. Came out of not nowhere, but like came with a vengeance on Sunday with a historic performance. He started Sunday 6 back of the lead from Patrick Cantlay. He shoots. This is one of your stats I know you're gonna hate, and I don't really like it either. But it's funny. I thought I'd say it because I know.
Is it one of those like?
And so he shot the lowest closing round.
There we go.
By a winner at Riviera. It's like the most asterisk. But,
that's not that bad.
That bad, but it's like 3 qualifiers.
Yes.
Like lowest closing round by a winner at Riviera. Like 3 different qualifiers.
Yeah.
So like it's not nothing, but it's also like, okay, that's pretty niche.
If they added by Japanese golfer.
Oh, well, I have those.
Do you?
Well,
Jesus.
so it's not intertwined with that.
Okay.
But he has so Hideki is now. I'm sorry. He now has the most PGA Tour wins by an Asian-born player with 9, overtaking KJ Choi.
Yes.
That's not intertwined with the last one.
No. Yes,
but
I did. Yes,
but that would also be the lowest closing round by a winner at Riviera, who is also Asian-born. If you want to add that would also qualify.
Correct. Yes,
and
however tall he is,
that would also be a true statement.
However tall he is by a 5'11" golfer, that's not one of the two truths.
We can make it even longer. So the lowest closing round by a winner at Riviera, who's Asian-born, who also won a Masters.
Who's 5'11" on
whose caddy vapes after the round
on February whatever the date was on that Sunday at Riviera. That's so stupid, man.
But I mean, a historic performance by him.
I saw a pretty good meme of you ever see that meme from The Office? It's when Dwight's like looking at the camera and Angela's like right behind him and his shoulder. He's like freaks out that he's right behind her. And it was like Patrick Cantlay was Dwight and then Hideki was Angela from The Office. So like all of a sudden came out of nowhere, scared him, and obviously took the win this week. So
I mean, you were watching a little bit, right? I mean, I was watching that Sunday and like I didn't see him coming. I had Cantlay. I put some money on live after after Friday or Saturday.
You did say that.
I put some on live money on Cantlay, so I was rooting for him. And I thought for sure Sunday, I thought Cantlay would win. Obviously, that's why I bet on him. But then, at one point, it was like a 4 or 5 way tie for the lead. I think 14 or 15 under, and I mean Hideki just literally did not miss a shot. The last not back 9 of the round. Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Cantlay just started slowly falling apart.
Cantlay didn't get started hot at all. Yeah. He that par 5 for first. Everybody was birdieing that. I think it was one of the lowest overall holes in the history of PGA Tour.
Yeah, for Cantlay and Xander were finding the rough on Sunday quite frequently.
And then Luke List got off to a blistering start on Sunday. It looked like he was going to run away with it. Yeah. He was I think 5 under through 7 to start the round. And then he kind of tailed off a little. And then Hideki just, like I said, the back 9.
Zalatoris started tearing up just a little bit.
He kind of started flirting a little bit.
He was flirting in the area.
But yeah, Hideki literally did not miss a shot at the back 9. He was hitting everything. He was unbelievable. Putts. In his approach shots, I remember the par 5, 17th, just hit a ridiculous 3-wood. I mean, it was unbelievable. Yeah. Every shot was perfect.
You know what was kind of interesting too, watching, and it happens. I wonder how often it happens. There's sure you can look this up somehow, but they declared him the winner. Obviously, when they weren't even done, the golfers were some of them were still golfing out there. They declared him the winner because at a certain point it was physically impossible.
Mathematically impossible.
Yeah. But I enjoy the coming down to the 18th hole.
Oh, well, obviously.
Yeah, it's exciting, I wonder how often it happens when they declare a winner while there's still people out there. I mean,
it definitely happens. I remember they were the broadcasters saying, Zalatoris I think was 3 back on 17 or 4 back. I think he was 4 back on 17, and he had to hold. It was a par 5 17th. He had to hole out for eagle, and then he would have had to hole out for eagle again on 18. Obviously that's just not going to happen. Yeah. So they were well, this is what he has to do, but obviously it's not going to happen. Yeah.
No, it was just different to see Cantlay, Zalatoris, Xander still out there, and then they just pan over to Hideki while his caddy's in the background vaping, and they're just this is your winner. It's okay, sounds good.
Yeah, not as exciting, but it was still definitely a great performance. Running at the rest of the top 10 here. For T2, after Hideki, we had Luke List and Will Zalatoris. T4, we had Adam Hadwin, Xander Schauffele, and Patrick Cantlay. Solo 7th, Harris English. Solo 8th, Tom Hoagie. Solo 9th, Jason Day. And then a bunch of T10s here. Sam Burns, Tommy Fleetwood, Scotty Scheffler, Eric Cole, Adam Svensson, and JT Poston. So it's a long top 10 list there. So cool. I've said in past episodes, and pretty recently I think, Patrick Cantlay and Xander Schauffele are the same golfers in my eyes. Remember me saying that? Like they're in the same tier, like the exact same kind of player, you know? Like elite player, never won a major.
Oh yeah.
You know, obviously elite player though.
They're best friends too. I found out.
He was in his Xander was in Patrick Cantlay's wedding.
Yeah,
he was a groomsman. So I found some stats that were posted that back that up, almost to a T. So Patrick Cantlay has 166 PGA Tour starts.
Okay.
You want to guess how many Xander has?
165.
166. It's the exact same number. You don't know how many wins Patrick Cantlay has? Or I'm sorry, Patrick Cantlay has 8 wins. We'll start there. How many do you think Xander has?
I'm gonna guess 8 for this exercise.
No, only 7.
Okay.
So one less, but the same number of starts, one less total win. So
I think I'm running 2 truths and a lie. What are you doing here, man?
So Patrick Cantlay has 54 top 10s. You want to guess how many Xander has?
54.
53.
Jesus.
Patrick Cantlay has made 85% of his cuts in his PGA Tour career. How many cuts what percentage of cuts do you think Xander's made?
84?
86.
Jesus, I can't get this.
So they were the same number of starts.
Wow.
One less win, one less top 10, one more percentage of cuts made for Xander. So I was just kind of going off feeling because I know they both never won a major. I feel like they're always kind of hanging around but never quite make it, to the big stage. That just proves it right there. And then also those wins, 0 majors, like I said. Neither of them have any majors. They've come close. I think Xander has a slightly better major finishes at majors in his career, but still no wins though, obviously. Yeah. Wow. So they I don't want to say they crumble under pressure, but they obviously don't come through under pressure too much.
How many majors have they both played in? Do you know that one?
I don't have that number. Xander, I would say at least 20. Probably Cantlay at least 20.
Yeah.
Maybe 30.
Yeah.
Because they're both in their 30s, I want to say.
I don't know. That's interesting. Obviously there's extremely similar characteristics of them and from their performance. I don't know. Of those two, who do you think will win a major first?
I mean, like I said, Xander's had better history in the majors. I remember off the top of my head, I know he was contending at that major at the Masters when Tiger won in 2019. I know he was contending at that point, as well as Finau. Finau's never won one either. He was contending at that one, I believe, as well. Yeah. I think he was in that final group with Tiger in that Masters in 2019. I think Cantlay, even though he has the worst performance in the majors so far, but again, I think they're both, cut from the same cloth as far as quality of golfer. It's just, it is also super hard to win now. We talked about that too. It's just, there's so many elite golfers. I guess it's getting easier for people even to go to LIV. But there's still a great young class of golfers coming through, like Ludwig Gobert, Nikolai Højgaard that are coming through, Tom Kim, who hasn't done a whole lot lately, but it's another big name that's going to make it even tougher to come through. Colin Morikawa, Sam Burns, they're all young players. It's just going to make it harder and harder to win. So if they don't get one soon, it's just, again, going to keep getting harder. So
it's interesting here. I went to go see how they stacked up in the all-time money list to see if that was similar to...
They're $1 off.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. No, that's not. Patrick's a little bit higher. He's got 43.8 and
43.8 million.
Yeah, and Xander has 41 too.
Still really close.
It's still really close, obviously, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 golfers in between.
He could have made that difference this week if he had finished one place higher. Maybe not half the difference at least. Because they finished the exact same spot, T4. If you get up to T2, I made up maybe a quarter of it maybe. If he wins, he would have made up all of it.
Yeah, the $4 million for the payout. So,
but that's what I had for the top 10s. I have some other notables here. Obviously, Tiger withdrew with some flu-like symptoms, or he had the flu.
Influenza.
There's some speculation that it came from In-N-Out.
There was that photo going around of that guy just kind of smirking. Someone just circled him in the background. This is suspect number 1.
So. Tiger did not get to finish the weekend. I don't think he was going to make it anyway. Spieth.
You don't think so?
So he was at +1, and I think the people that ended up getting cut were at +2. So he could have, but it was right on the line.
What do you think of...
and he was already having back spasms and whatnot, so...
Yeah, he had that massive shank on 18 on Thursday. What do you think of Sunday Red apparel that he had?
Somebody, I've seen the people on TikTok that, like, edit the logos, like what I would do with this logo,
Yes.
Somebody did that. It was, like, some girl on TikTok that, like, this is what I would do with Sunday Red logo. And it actually was such a subtle thing, but it honestly made it look so much better. So, like, the little stripes, obviously it's going, like, vertical, right? The tiger.
Uh-huh.
And then there's the little weaves in the middle for, like, the stripes of the tiger.
Yeah, for those are all of his majors, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's, like, symbolic. But there's, like, the tail at the end who also has those weaves. She took out the weaves, like, on the tail, so it was, like, straight tail. And then it weaved in the middle, like, where the body was. And then, like, the head. Honestly, it was such a subtle thing. But it looked so much better. It really did. It was weird. I didn't expect it to be like. It honestly looked a lot different, a lot better.
One of his was it his Friday attire was a tribute to the first time he played at Riviera. Was that right?
That was his first career start.
His first career start. Got it.
In like 99, cool. I think.
Something.
Or was that too late?
I think
maybe 96, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit earlier. Than
96,
that.
I think.
So that was cool to see. They kind of modeled one of the designs off of that, and I've been seeing more. I thought we follow them on Instagram, and I've just been seeing more. Like they're really pushing the whole lifestyle aspect of it, because I think the post today or yesterday was Tiger working out wearing it, and he was hitting some incline dumbbell press, incline chest press, and they're just really trying to highlight it's not just a golfer's brand, it's a lifestyle brand. So I don't know.
Yeah. So Tiger, withdrew at his own tournament. He wasn't even able to hand Hideki the trophy. That was kind of sad.
I know. I saw Hideki was kind of upset about that.
Yeah, but we had Spieth get disqualified for the whole scorecard debacle. That was a big deal on Twitter. I don't really have much. I don't want to go into it too much. We've already kind of rambled quite a bit here already. But I think he owned up to it. It is a rule. I think in the day and age of technology that we have, I think it's kind of unnecessary, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But we had the actual finishers here. We had some Max Homa and Cam Young both finished T16. And T19 we had a big group here. Colin Morikawa, Victor Hovland, Ludwig Aubert, Tony Finau, all at T19. T24 we had Tom Kim and Rory McIlroy. And then we had a lot more miscuts than we were expecting, than I was expecting.
Yeah.
17 total miscuts. That's not even including Spieth being DQ'd or Tiger withdrawing. So 17 miscuts. That included Matt Fitzpatrick, Justin Thomas, Wyndham Clark, and a whole bunch of others.
Fitzpatrick hasn't been too relevant this year so far.
He started last year pretty weak, too.
I wanted to say
and then he got it kicked into gear after the Masters, and he won the RBC Heritage.
He did. I can see him in that plaid jacket right now.
Yeah, so he beat Spieth in that playoff.
That's
the
right.
RBC Heritage last year. That kind of got him kick-started. Yeah, not a good start for him. And it's weird because, I was betting on him at least early in the year because he kept playing on the DP World Tour. It's like, he didn't have to shake off any rust. Maybe he does need that time off maybe to kind of just reflect and kind of get back to it.
I guess not.
I did have one more thing before we get to the two truths or before you had anything else. One last thing. So just a stat you should know. I don't know if this might be a running segment I might start doing, but this is just one I wanted to start with. I don't know if you're reading my screen here yet or not.
I can't read it.
So the stat you should know, which is could be a recurring theme. It is a recurring theme, but this is the first time we're shouting it out, specifically at least. We've talked about it. But Scotty Scheffler made three putts outside of 10 feet the entire week at Riviera. The entire week. And I remember that's kind of embarrassing because I was saying that he's actually a better putter from long distance before our preview.
That's right.
Which I think in the past he has been.
Yeah.
But this week, obviously, it was a bad timing for me to say that. So not... it's almost getting worse.
It honestly, I don't know... Can he just not read the greens? Is that his problem?
It has to be a mental thing. It's not a reading thing, because I think his caddy is supposed to be known for being able to help players read greens. I think it's one of his big strengths.
So he's just pulling or pushing his putts?
I think what it is he pushes it. Is his trend is what I've heard the analysts talk about. Is he opens the facing a little bit and pushes it. is what I think his trend is what his habit is.
Got it.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, and then they're having Rory. I don't know, were you watching when they had Rory kind of help the broadcast on Sunday?
Yeah, I told him to get a mallet.
Yeah, and he said it just helps like a little forgiveness, basically. I think some not forgiveness, but some maybe some pargiveness. I don't know.
Some
you want to call it?
Forgiveness, putt. Give me a second here. There's got to be something better than that. There's got to be something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Green giveness. I don't know.
Green giveness. Some putt for dough. I don't know. There's got to be something. There's got to be something. I don't know.
But yeah, Scotty. I really don't want to see Scotty go to the broomstick. That would be so ugly.
Well, so okay.
Like Zalatoris, I think for some reason like Zalatoris can like pull it off. I guess if anybody,
Scotty's so burly.
That's what I'm saying. Scotty, it just looks so weird. I feel like
Yeah.
it looks like Will Zalatoris. Like I don't know. I don't like him in general, but he can pull it off. It's like you see somebody. Like, somebody wearing, I don't know, a weird outfit, and you're like, I couldn't pull that off, but you know what? They can.
Yeah.
Scotty's looking at Will Zalatoris like, man, he can, but man, I just couldn't pull it off. I don't know. It would just look so weird if he had it. He would look so weird with that. I don't know what it is, but it just, I think it's like his face. Maybe his face is just like.
I think it's the fact that he's so burly.
Is it?
Yeah, like he's such a.
I mean, they're both. I think Will Zalatoris is kind of tall, but he's like lankier.
He's skinny. Yeah, he's skinny. I think that's for some reason that's okay for me. I could see that him being skinny.
I don't know what it is. I can't
explain it.
I can think
of what's his name who won the Masters. Older guy, son of a gun.
What?
One of the guys who won the Masters many years ago. He still plays in it.
Longer?
Maybe
Bernhard Longer.
Yeah, I think he uses.
He uses on the Champions Tour.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking of. And again, just skinnier person.
Well, he's like short too.
Yeah, but again, I think it's not the height for me; it's the skinniness.
If
you're a big burly guy, I just can't.
Lucas Glover's a pretty big guy.
Yeah,
he's a pretty big guy.
Yeah,
he uses it.
I don't know,
but he's old though. Maybe that's why he can get away with it.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like you see your old dad wearing like those classic Nikes. The dad Nikes.
Yeah, it's just like it's okay. It's acceptable.
Yeah.
You mentioned this, his name, Will Zalatoris. He came out, I was listening to his press conference afterwards. He was pretty emotional. Didn't really say who in his family, but he lost someone in his family on Thursday and ended up saying that felt their presence with him through the week. And then he hit the hole-in-one on Friday?
Yeah, I think it was Friday.
Friday, so he won and it was the hole where if you hit the hole-in-one, you get the car for you and your caddy.
Yeah, and your caddy, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That was cool. Him and his caddy were celebrating big time after that. That's really awesome. Those Genesis cars are nice.
Yeah.
Those are pretty nice cars. I'm a fan. All right, 2 truths and a lie. You ready?
Let's do it.
Hideki Matsuyama.
I don't know if we done one for him. He hasn't won in a minute, has he? He was pretty up and down last year. And even the beginning of this year, he's been pretty up and down. Like,
I don't know.
One of the guys I follow for my betting corner picks, of course, shouted him out just because his number was so long. He was 80-1, and he was like the guy I follow for trying to get some advice for. And he's like, I'm picking this simply because 80-1 is a super long number for the kind of golfer Hideki is. And of course, that's not one of his picks that I followed for last week. So,
damn,
of course.
All right, here we go. 2 truths and a lie. Jack Nicklaus was his idol growing up. He was the first Japanese golfer to win a major. His blood type is B.
Shut up.
I swear to God.
I think number one, I'm going to go quick. Number one's false.
Number 1 is false, yes. Tiger was his idol growing up, and that's why he was very upset that he wasn't able to get the trophy handed off to him.
But what?
Get out of here. I searched fun facts of these golfers, and that legit was the first time I ever saw them list his blood type. So I was like, you know what? I'm 100% including this week. Hey, you know what?
It was B what?
His blood type is just B.
Oh, is it not like a B positive thing?
I don't know. It just said B. I think it's just O. O and O positive. O negative. I don't know either. To be honest.
I don't even know mine.
I don't know mine either.
I got blood work done. I told you though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How much longer do you have?
I mean, you might have a few episodes left.
Okay. Maybe you could go back positive by that time. All right, you got it right. Yes, he also was the first Japanese golfer to win a major, too. I thought that one would kind of stump you a little bit, but it's not. Because we talked about earlier how he now surpassed, what was the guy's name?
Well, KJ Choi, but he was South Korean. It was just Asian born. And he was South Korean, KJ Choi was. So,
Got it. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling.
All right, let's get to the Mexico Open preview. We have defending champion Tony Finau. This is the Vidanta Vallarta course in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico.
That's pretty good.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Croissant,
Jesus.
I got the pronunciations down, baby.
Here we go.
Par 71.
Duolingo?
7,456 yards. Pretty long course here. Yeah. Only the third playing of this event at this course. So it was 2 years ago it got started. John Rahm won that one. Tony Finau won the next one last year. And it's a I don't even want to hear it from you. It's a weak 132 player field. Yeah. Probably the worst field you're ever going to see in a PGA event.
Tony Finau's probably like, who are you? Who are you? Who is this?
Yeah, it's honestly pretty sad. When the article I was looking at to get some notes from, there was like, some key players, and it was like Tony Finau, and then they were scraping the bottom of the barrel. So it was pretty for key players at least. They're obviously good players, but for like highlighting key players, they weren't.
It's tough. It's a tough week. I'm still gonna watch on Sunday probably again, and actually probably on Friday a little bit. I'll watch. Depending on, I got YouTube TV now, so I can figure out.
Well, you'll watch for at least 3 hours before they switch, and
I have to go on down the next channel if I didn't hear them say tune into whatever channel now. Very weak field. Purse is $8.1 million. Take a wild guess on who the outright winner projection is.
Oh, I think is it Davis Thompson?
No. You're close though. You're close. It's Cameron Champ. No, just kidding. It is Tony Finau at plus 850. I'm surprised it wasn't even a little bit.
I saw, I think 8. I was looking at all the books I have too, and it was pretty consistent 8 across the board when I was looking. Yeah, got 8 plus 800.
Followed by Nikolai Hojgaard, right?
Hojgaard.
Man, I messed that one up. Nikolai Hojgaard at plus 1,400. So I got really nothing else really to talk about for this tournament besides it's a weak field and
it should be a pretty low scoring event. It's going to be a birdie fest for sure.
Okay.
So I'd
even
say
with how long this field is, how long the course is too.
Definitely going to be a birdie fest. Going to be good weather from what I saw. At least I was looking at some first round leader stuff. I didn't bet any of those, but I saw that the weather is supposed to be pretty good Thursday. So I think it's
we didn't do a weather report.
Yeah, I know weather report. I just know it's gonna be good. Then Thursday, I don't know the rest of the week.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's I think all I got going into it. If you want to get into betting corner,
well, I'll just do my projection
or the prediction real
quick. My pick is Thomas Detry this week.
Detry, okay.
At plus 2,500. He's played in 4 events this season. He's had 2 top 25s, 1 top 10. This is his first time ever playing this event, so I'm excited to see. Hopefully, a little beginner's luck for Mr. Detry, and a little extra cash for me.
Okay. I didn't put out a pick. I was doing my betting corner, and
you didn't pick an outright anywhere?
I didn't pick an outright from betting corner as a hint.
Probably was a better idea, honestly.
Yeah, definitely is. We got to start getting the green here. I'm gonna go with the gut pick here. I'm going with the gut. Rub it, feel it. I'm gonna go.
Did you not touch
Taylor Pendrith?
You didn't trust your gut right there. It took you a second. Taylor Pendrith, okay. And
it's like a crystal ball. You gotta clear the clouds.
Got it.
And then it's not just a clear image.
Well, it's like not a crystal ball. It's like the Magic 8 ball.
Yeah,
eventually it just comes out to the top and it's just sitting there.
Yeah, sure, same thing.
No, I mean not. Yeah, okay, sure, kind of. Should we get a Magic 8 ball next time? Should I pick Taylor Montgomery? Try again next time.
You're just going to say yes every time.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you insane? All right, betting corner. Here we go. I had one bet hit last week, so a whopping plus 5 units. And you did not. So the standings, I'm minus 135. You're minus 813. You're flirting close to dangerous territory.
I know. I don't understand.
I don't know either.
And then I've been so close so many times. And then Spieth was my one that I had as part of my double chance. And then of course he got DQ'd.
Yeah.
He was, I think, like 3 or 4 off the lead when he got DQ'd on Saturday, going into Saturday.
I was feeling good after, I want to say Friday or Saturday, because I had Zalatoris top 10, which hit for me. I had Cantlay as part of my triple chance, and he was actually leading at the time. And then Finau. Oh, you know what? I thought I had Finau somewhere else, but
you had
actually
him T5.
I had
him T10.
Well, no, I actually had him in the triple chance.
Oh.
I thought I had him T5, so I just had those two. That's all I really had. I had Brian Harman top 20, and he didn't even hit that. He was T44. So it's whatever.
Yeah, I had Finau T10. He was kind of there, really wasn't. Other than that, my first round leaders, Rory and Victor, weren't really there. O'Bear T10, he had a chance to get there, but instead of making a run to get it, he did the exact opposite and slid. I needed him to have one of his quintessential Sunday baller performances, and it didn't happen.
You do talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, he had been doing it, but he didn't do it this time. So, yep, nothing there.
All right, I got 5 picks.
Yeah, same.
All right. I'm going someone I've never picked before. I don't know if you picked him before. You might have. And we saw him in a playoff 2 weeks ago. I'm going Charlie Hoffman. A top 20 finish.
He got started this week hot and then did not finish hot.
Yes. Charlie Hoffman, top 20, plus 275, 27 units. So obviously he was a second place finish at the WM Phoenix Open. Last week, I think he ended up being like top 50 somewhere in there, I want to say. And so I'm thinking much weaker field. Have you mentioned that yet? It's a weaker field this week?
Weaker, but also twice as big of a field, though.
It is, very true, but weaker. He's been playing pretty well. They were talking during one of the coverage of him at Waste Management that he's a Titleist athlete, and they found that just as he's gotten older in life, his swing is kind of just naturally changing. They've kind of identified what they needed to do to adjust his irons because he wasn't striking his irons as well. And however that technology works with them, it's not forgiveness, it's whatever it is for a Titleist. They were able to make some adjustments to help correct just some things that his swing was just doing naturally. And it's been paying off, obviously. So, like I said, top 20 though. So, don't need him to win, just need him to remain a little bit relevant this week. So, but it is a bigger field, like you said.
Yeah, that's like I really want to try and take advantage of some of those smaller fields because easier to hit a 70-man field than it is 130 or 140. So I'm kind of disappointed in not getting something from that last week. But you know what, we on we go. Yeah. So my first pick here, I was kind of thinking like during the week when Finau was letting me down. Finau almost is going on the no bet list, but I can't quite make make it yet. And Jason Day's pretty close to getting off of it. I will say. Another top 10 for him. So he's I'm percolating. Percolating whether I'm going to do that or not. But we'll see. It's my hands on the racer, but it's not erased it yet.
All right.
So we'll see. But my first pick here, I'm going Finau. I had him top 10 last week, but I'm parlaying him in top 20. So I'm going Finau, top 20. You can't really go wrong with that. He's easily the best player in the field.
Yes.
But if you can find a way to be wrong with it, I will, because, that's just how my betting goes. But I'm going Finau, top 20, parlayed with Steven Jaeger, top 20 as well. So Steven Jaeger is top 5 in the opening odds for this event. He is one of the higher expected players in this field. So he doesn't have any wins yet, but he's been playing some of these like lesser like fields before, and he's played pretty well. So there is a stat called birdie or better percentage.
Okay.
Sort of like better for these really low scoring events. So he's 5th in the field in that stat in birdie or better. He's 13th in strokes gained ball striking.
Okay.
So I like that. I like that he's finished. He's got good stats there to back up with his course. And he's got a T3 at the Farmers Insurance here before, recently. So I think Steven Yeager, one of the better players in the field already. He's got some good stats behind him. We're going off of like finishes and whatnot. Let's go to stats. Ditch the finishing. Let's just go like, okay, what do the stats say? Let's go with the stats more than the previous finishes.
All right.
I know you were going off of like, oh, what did they do a week before?
Sometimes.
You tried that, and now you kind of, I think you ditched that, didn't you?
A little bit. I like to look at, like how they performing so far this season, week before sometimes too, and then how do they perform in this event in previous. And sometimes it's just feel. Like sometimes, and I'm not this is not advice by any chance because I'm still negative too. But like sometimes like I'll see like I'll be scrolling through social media like that week and I'll see a photo of someone or a highlight of someone. I'm telling you, and here's my next pick in a second. You done with yours by the way?
I didn't get the odds. So that those two plus top 20 plus 245, 35 units. So that's my heavy one.
Okay.
This week.
That's pretty heavy. So here's what I mean by feel, right? Because this person has not performed at all this year. In fact, he hasn't made the cut at all this year. Okay.
I know who you're about to say. Cameron Champ.
Yes.
I didn't see it, but I just know his stats off the top because I was looking at him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Cameron Champ.
He played well here last year, I think. Yeah.
He did. I think
T8. I think
T8 finish. Yeah. You're correct. But I saw a post about him sometime like late last week, and I forgot what it was. Someone was just talking about him, and I just saw it. And for some reason, when I was making my picks, it just kept coming back in my head. So I was like, oh, that's a sign.
Well, when I see that, I almost picked him. I was really close to having him in my picks.
Yeah.
I think like he's like due, He's due.
Well, that's like kind of, and I had nothing I didn't ever say during the podcast, so I can't back this up besides what I'm just saying to myself out loud, is I also saw that same thing happen to me when I saw a picture of Zalatoris, or his swing or something like that, a few weeks ago. I bet him like 2 weeks in a row, I think. So, it was just a little bit delayed. But I'm saying on the podcast right now, this is strictly a feel. Cameron Champ, top 10, plus 450, 19 units. Like I mentioned, we both mentioned, has not made a single cut this season. But he did play last year with a T8 finish.
I don't think he made a cut before last year's T8 either. I think he had all missed cuts going into last year's event too when he was T8, if I remember right.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So we'll see if history can repeat itself.
I would love it too.
I was really close to picking him. I won't lie, because it's a long course. He's a long hitter.
He is.
It fits him a little bit. So, but I didn't quite do it. So, but we'll see how it goes. I'm rooting for you.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that. But my next one here, spare me.
Is it just some random person? Just pulled someone from the audience here.
It is a real person.
Jimmy from some middle town of Shelbyville,
Jimmy.
Indiana.
It's not Jimmy.
Yeah.
Adrian Dumont de Cassar.
All right. Sounds good. Croissant.
So Adrian Dumont de Cassar. So he's a young buck.
Okay.
He's a young buck.
How old is he?
He is 23 years old.
Okay.
So he's got definitely. I'm not gonna pretend like I knew this guy going into it, but doing some research,
I'm sure you do now.
So he's a Belgian.
You know more than I know of this guy.
23-year-old Belgian. So I believe Thomas Detry's Belgian as well.
Yeah.
Or is he German?
German.
Because their flags are pretty similar.
Yeah.
So he is Belgian.
Revving up again. It's whatever.
Gosh, I'm making a lot of enemies here, aren't I? So he's had some ups and downs as a young buck does. But he has the best trait for this course, which is he's great off the tee. He averages gaining 4 strokes off the tee. He gained 4 strokes off the tee in his last start at the Waste Management Phoenix Open.
Okay.
And so I think he's going to be able to let it loose here at this long course at Vidanta. And it's a weak course, or weak field, I should say. And you know what? I like his odds. So I got him as a top 20 solo, plus 450, 20 units. So let's have a little coming out party for Adrian Dumont. Dumont. Yeah. He's won several times on the Corn Ferry Tour as well. So he's... and I mean, this might as well be a Corn Ferry Tour event, So, hey.
Finau hasn't won in a while. You got all these guys, all these rookies on the
just need a top 20 in a Corn Ferry, tour tournament.
That's funny. I definitely have never heard of this guy, so I don't know anything about him. But Good. Yeah.
You're about to know.
Hey, you know what? It's possible. I mean, look at the past winners so far this year. All long shots.
Yeah, I mean, 80-1, I think, was the shortest one so far this year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And the fact that it's 80-1 for Hideki is like another crazy thing. Like,
Yeah.
you'd think an 80-1 would be somebody like not Hideki's status.
My next pick is Emiliano Grillo. I'm going a top 5 finish plus 615 units. He was top 5 here last year. His best finish so far this year was T7, but he has remained relevant. He hasn't, I think he's made every single cut so far this season, and he's been in contention. Nothing super spectacular, nothing crazy, but he's been hanging around. So, for some reason, there's just a feel thing. I'm liking the Grillo. I did not see a post about him last week or this week or anything. Mm-hmm. This is just strictly something that, again, good performance last year, and he's just been somewhat consistent this year. So
yeah, I like him too. He's another one of those players that kind of pops in these weaker fields too. We saw him, I think, in the fall this past fall, kind of pop a little bit in a few events, I think. So yeah, I like that. I think in what was the co-sanctioned event the same week as the Open? Was it the Bermuda? No, not Bermuda. Barracuda. That's what it was. In Nevada, yes. I think he played pretty well in that event. I think Akshay ended up winning that one, but he played well in that, I want to say. In that weaker field over there. My next one here, I'm going back to another parlay. I'm trying to get some top 20 parlays going here. I was really close to the last one I had. But I'm going to go with Jonathan Vegas. So he's another one of those players that kind of pops, and he's like similar to Grillo.
Yeah, I remember seeing his name.
Yeah, he's popped in some of these events before. He really likes putting on the greens that you're gonna have this week there in the Mexico Open, the Paspalum greens. Paspalum.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're getting really into the
specifics
here. I'm following your.
All right. So yeah, he coming off an injury actually, but he's played well at these kinds of courses before. So he has a second place finish at the Puerto Rico Open in 2021, a fourth place finish in the 2022 Corrales Punta Cana, and those are both played on the same types of greens. So I think he's going to be able to be comfortable with the putter. And like I said, he's played well in some of these weaker fields before. He's got good stats going into the week with some good ball striking metrics at the Waste Management Phoenix Open. So I'm going with Jonathan Vegas, parlayed with Taylor Pendrith, top 20.
Ooh.
So I'm going with Pendrith, top 20. He saw his Canadian counterpart get the win at the Waste Management. He's going to be motivated to try and get his win for himself. So I think...
For his motherland.
Man, the Maple Land. But yeah, he's done pretty well for himself as well as far as metrics go. So he's fourth in strokes gained ball striking in the last 24 rounds. He's second in the field in birdie or better percentage, second in the field. You can't get much better than that. You can only get one better than that, actually, if you're doing the math.
That's very true. You're really getting into analytics so far this week.
I think Pendrith, he was 25-1 when I saw, which I think was good for like fifth in the field. So he's high up there in the odds board. So I think both those are parlayed for top 20. That's plus 597. Pretty odds, I like that. 20 units on that one.
That's pretty heavy. Should be a good payout.
Yeah, that would be one of my bigger payouts.
All right, second to last, I have the defending champ Tony Finau. Top 5 plus 225, 28 units. Like I said, won the event last year. So he is the only big major name this week. And his best finish so far this year was T6. We just talked about last week where I think he was T19, last week. So I would like to see Tony. Everyone loves Tony. Everyone loves to see Tony win. He's a fan favorite. So why not?
I don't know. He's getting close to my
no bet list.
My no bet list.
I don't know. Maybe this is an opportunity for him to reverse that. So, just need a top 5, though, from him. So, that's what my fourth pick is.
Tony, just top 5? That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
Tony, top 5. Top 5 Tony.
5. I think one of my podcasts listeners used to call him top 10 Tony is what they call him, actually.
Top 10 Tony.
Top 10 Tony. He was not top 10 for me last week, was what I needed, but...
Yeah.
So, I can't give him that nickname. Have you seen those, sports reference pages? Like, there's a basketball reference page professional basketball reference page and a professional football reference page.
What do you mean by reference page?
It's just like a stats page, basically.
Oh, okay, got it.
And they show stats for everything.
Got it. Okay.
And they gave like nicknames to people, and they like literally list nicknames, and they list like nicknames nobody's ever heard of. It's like Tom Brady has a nickname called like the Sergeant or something like that. It's like nobody's ever called him that ever. Like, where did you get this?
Yeah.
Like, there's so many examples of like, and like, so like that'd be funny if they had like top 10 Tony or something like that.
Top 10 Tony. I like it.
I'm going my next one here. I'm keeping it simple here, but I'm going the opposite end of the spectrum. One top 5.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Carl Yuan.
Carl who?
Carl Yuan.
Yuan.
Not me on Yuan.
You got it. Carl.
Carl
You
Yuan.
picked someone with the first name of Carl? Man.
Carl that.
That's our IT guy's name, man.
Right.
That's all I think about is like Carl from Jimmy Neutron.
Well, I think Carl from Walking Dead. No, Carl.
Yeah, that Carl too.
That's what I think.
That or I said Jimmy Neutron.
That's not what comes to my mind at all.
You remember that Carl though?
I know.
Wheezy?
Yeah, but
Carl Weezer.
Yeah, that would have taken me forever to think of. Like I know now, but it was definitely not top of my mind. No. I'm going top 5 for him. I imagine better odds than you got, at least, for Tony. But plus 1,800.
Oh, yeah.
A little better.
That's a little bit better.
I'm going 10 units on that one. I'm going 10 units on Carl. Carl, not me on you on top 5. Not an electron, it's a Yuan.
My gosh.
1,800, 10 units.
Stick with us here, guys. Stick with us. It'll get
Almost
better, I
there.
promise. All right, here we go. Last pick. Triple chance. Thomas Detry, Keith Mitchell, Taylor Pendrith. Plus 850, 11 units this week. So stick with my usual strategy of just trying to break even on if one of them hits. If 2 hits, it's all gravy from there. So these longer fields, though, much difficult.
Yeah, no, right? Like I got one more, and the longer fields make it tough, especially when you're trying to get out of a hole too, like I am. So I'm going one more top 5. I'm going with my man Davis Thompson. I've picked him a few times. I like him. I almost wanted to go outright, but I just can't. You can't justify it. I need to get some dubs here at some point. So let's go Davis Thompson top 5. That's at plus 750. I'm going 15 units on that one. I don't want to jinx it. No. I'm just gonna. I'm calling it there. I'm done.
Say it.
That's all I got for this week.
Say it. Come on.
We appreciate everybody listening.
Oh,
share it with somebody.
Come on.
Share it with your friends.
You're leaving them hanging. This podcast is about providing value for people.
What about it?
What are you not going to say?
I wasn't going to jinx myself.
I want to hear it.
No. What value is that bringing? They're going to follow my picks, and you want me to jinx it for them? No, I don't think anybody's following my picks.
Yeah.
They're probably fading. You remember how like I was like, you need to find ways to like do over under top 20 finish, you know?
Yeah.
And like if they had that, everybody would do the opposite of what I'm saying.
They would be like, what's the odds that Blair goes minus 100 again? Minus 120.
DraftKings is gonna do like a sponsored boost.
They're gonna boost
and be like, if you fade all of this guy's picks, we'll boost it.
Oh my gosh.
They're gonna have the Blair boost.
The Blair boost. Oh my god, I like it. No, what else is going on? We've got this episode's a little long. We'll wrap it up here in a second, but we got the live giveaway next week. Is it next week?
Next Thursday. So
that's right.
Yeah, next Thursday we'll have the
and it's a leap day too.
That's leap day. That's right.
So it's a leap day. So if you guys are not a Cactus Golf Club member, make sure you sign up at least by that Thursday and RSVP for the event. We've already got more people who have RSVP'd than we had in the previous month's giveaway, and we still have 8 more days to be able to get some more people RSVP.
I mean, you could subscribe, join the event, win a driver, and then cancel if you wanted.
You literally could. You literally could join. That's a great way to say it. You can literally sign up for free for that month. Sign up for free, win the driver, cancel, receive the driver, and not literally pay a single dollar. What other place can you do that? Mm-hmm. Exactly. Mic drop. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, leave a review, share with your friends. See you next week.